Although it's from 2017, Johnny Walker is currently going viral online for getting knocked out in headgear by then 19-year-old 168-pound boxer Zach Chelly in 16-ounce boxing gloves. It's interesting because seemingly out of nowhere, Walker decides to try and land massive sledgehammers and ends up getting fired back on and knocked out. That was actually pre-UFC Johnny Walker. He would go on to light up the UFC scene a year later, where in a span of just over 3 months, he got 3 blistering fast KOs, including one over Khalil Rountree Jr. Walker was touted by some as one who could dethrone John Jones. Ultimately, it wasn't meant to be. He lost 6 of his next 10 fights, and he's lost his last 2 via KO to Ankalaev and Uzdemir. Jamahal Hill says that he has been offered a fight and a contract is coming soon. It could be Yuri Prochazka or it could be Khalil Rountree Jr. They were supposed to fight in the past. Alex Pereira, who's fought both Jamahal Hill and Khalil Rountree, says if Jamal accepts the fight, he won't be able to handle Khalil. Both those guys got stopped by Alex. Jamahal Hill got stopped in round 1 and Khalil got stopped in round 4. Jake Paul thinks he 1000% beats Alex Pereira in a boxing match. He takes on Mike Tyson in a boxing match next month, November 15th in Arlington, Texas. Guy Bahayo wants to fight Anderson Silva next. Finally back to X, aka Twitter. Brazil is free. Do you guys think that Izzy's gonna finally respond to my call out? Adesanya does want to fight one more time this year. A fight with Bahayo does make sense because everyone else is booked, with Whitaker being booked and Strickland being booked. The highest ranked guys are Imavov and Bahayo, number 4 and 5 in the division, and Adesanya has not fought them yet. Makhachev says he's healed up and he's ready to fight in January. The UFC probably has to pick between doing Makhachev versus Sarukian in January or Strickland versus DDP in January. They're both headlining fights and they're not doing 2 pay-per-views. Strickland says he's likely fighting January in LA against DDP, so if that's the case, they gotta move Makhachev to a later fight date. So the order may end up being Bilal versus Shavkat at 310, DDP versus Strickland at 311, and Makhachev versus Sarukian at 312. Aileen Pereira's opponent missed weight by 4 pounds for their fight in Karate Combat tomorrow night. Originally, the fight was scheduled to be at 125 pounds. Then the opponent asked for it to be 130. They agreed, but then she still came in 4 pounds overweight. That's 9 pounds over the originally contracted weight. Nonetheless, the fight goes on to kick off the card on Karate Combat 50 in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Fighters, face forward.
Bo Nickal' UFC career plan is I want to take on 2 more unranked guys, then fight a ranked opponent. At that point, I'll be 9-0, then fight a ranked guy and be 10-0, then fight a top 5 guy and finally go for the belt around 12-0. He fights Paul Craig next month, then he wants 2 unranked guys, a ranked guy, a top 5 guy, and then a title shot. So 5 fights and then a title shot. So he's changed his approach a little bit from when he first started in the UFC. Originally, he wanted to jump right into the top 5 and get a title shot, but he's taking things more slowly and methodically. He's the biggest favorite on that card, a massive favorite, 9-1 favorite over Paul Craig. Jones is a 5-1 favorite over Stipe, and Charles Oliveira is a 2.45-1 favorite over Michael Chandler. Khalil Rountree puts Alex Pereira as the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter, as does Kamaru Usman. Alex Pereira's entire career actually took place while Stipe has been out of action. Stipe returns to headline the next pay-per-view next month. This is the main card. Some people are shitting on it. What do you give it out of 10? Let me know in the comments. Only undefeated fighter on that card is Azamat Murzakanov, who has a 14-0 record. He's taking on Nikita Krylov on that card. 77% of his victories are via knockout. He's looking to break into the top 10 with this victory. He is ranked number 11, and Nikita Krylov is ranked number 7 in the light heavyweight division. Eagle FC is teasing a comeback on November 9th. Next month, Eagle FC 55. They have not done a show in 1 year. Eagle FC 54 was their last show, November 11th. The promotion was originally called the Guerrilla Fighting Championship, but Habib bought it in 2020 and he rebranded it as Eagle Fighting Championship EFC. Former Bellator welterweight champion Yaroslav Almasov wants to get into the UFC. He's a free agent and he wants to get into the UFC welterweight division. He has a record of 27-1. His only loss was in November against Jason Jackson. Official poster for UFC Macau at the Galaxy Arena on November 23rd, headlined by Yan versus Figueiredo. Winner may get the next title shot after Umar Nurmagomedov. Next Wednesday, there's going to be some more cuts, but after that, the Contender Series is over, so they'll chill out for a little while. Ariel Helwani has a new show coming out next weekend as part of the coverage for the PFL. Renan Ferreira versus Francis Ngannou card in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Kevin Lee's brother Keith Lee named one of the top 50 most influential influencers by The Hollywood Reporter. Trivia question of the day: which fighter wore these shorts into the UFC Octagon with the tag still on them? Let me know in the comments. Kind of miss these days where weird stuff like this could happen. Nowadays, everything's too uniform, sanitized, and homogenized. Moicano thinks that Mario Batista's punishment for fighting Aldo the way he did is to fight Alex Pereira. 4 years ago today, Dricus du Plessis made his UFC debut against Marcus Perez, and Dricus won that fight via knockout. Marcus Perez is fighting tomorrow in Karate Combat.
Guys, Jake Shields podcast with Gordon22 is fucking rock solid. Obviously nothing but the truth. We left the gym. B-team forms because really John was just training us too hard. Not because he was slapping the shit out of people, not because of the abuse Gordon was doing to people along with his partner. All those things straight over their heads. Me and Jake Shields had a fucking long conversation about this when the team broke up and he came train at B-team. No, I'm not going to do Jake Shields' fucking podcast if you can't even remember that. I'll probably explain these things on my own podcast.
John Jones and Gordon Ryan, that combination is so juiced up. I mean, juicy. Yeah, with who he's training with right now, it looks like he's going to go for the takedown and go for the submission against Stipe. Some of you guys agree with that assessment. Jones is 100% going to try the same game plan against Stipe like he did with Gon. Takedown, submission. You forgot to mention Haney lost his lawsuit against Garcia. It was brought up in another video where Garcia said the case has been dismissed. That just fell off, just fumbling and stuttering his words because he don't like Topuria. No, I like both guys, but if forced to pick, I may go Topuria decision. I'm just unsure because of the durability and toughness of Max Holloway, and he gets better as the fight progresses in round 3, 4, and 5, and he looks so good against Justin Gaethje. But I think it's going to go to the scorecards and ultimately damages the #1 scoring criteria that the judges look for, so I think that will sway in the direction of Topuria because I think he's going to land the harder, more impactful, and damaging shots, so the judges will favor him in this fight. How do you think it goes? Let me know in the comments. I think Max is getting slept. This has that young lion versus old lion vibe, like Machida versus Jones or something like that. Yeah, it could be. Ilya definitely has the power to do so, but I thought Gaethje was gonna knock out Holloway very badly. I was concerned for Holloway's health. I thought he was gonna get hurt very badly and knocked out by Gaethje, but the exact opposite ended up happening. So Holloway's definitely a unique and special fighter, able to defy the odds and create moments that people are gonna remember forever. But yeah, that being said, he might get slept.